Hello, today I'm going to be teaching you how to tie-dye. Yay! Okay, so your materials are going to be a monochromatic shirt. I bought more because I might be making more shirts after this. Some warm water with salt. I added salt because it makes the dye stick better to the fabric. A spoon to mix the salt into. Some squeeze bottles that I bought at the supermarket. Some dye that my dad bought for me at the supermarket. I'm going to be using blue, green, brown, red, and yellow. I'm not going to be using all the colors though. I am going to be teaching you how to make the dye. You're going to need some rubber bands, a fork, plastic bags to put the shirt in when you're done, some plastic gloves so that you do not stain your hands. This is really important, and a bucket to wash the shirt in and do a lot of steps in it. So first what you're going to do is you are going to wash the shirt. There are three ways to wash the shirt. The first one is a washing machine, the second one is by hand, and the third one is with warm water and salt. This seems weird, but it does work. So you're going to first put some warm water in the bucket and salt and mix it up, and you're going to wash the shirt. You're going to want to wash it well, because new shirts, when you buy them, have chemicals in them. And if you don't wash it well, the dye can maybe not stick as well to the fabric as it would if you wash it. Now we are going to make the dye. I already have blue and red made, but I am going to show you how to make the dye. We already have green, blue, and yellow. I bought these dyes at the store. Now I am going to be teaching you how to make the dye. We have warm water in these three bottles. It's better if you use the big bottles because it's easier. We are going to only pour about 1/3 of the powder dye that's in the bag because those make 5 liters and we really do not need 5 liters of the dye. Be really careful. Okay, so now we are going to be putting some of the powder dye into the warm water. Be careful to not put too much or too little. The water has to not look transparent when you're done putting it. Now, after shaking the bottle well, you have to shake it well so it dye is mixed. Put some gloves on because you might get stained with your hands and it's not nice. We are going to pour the dye into the squeeze bottle. Do it carefully so that none of the dye spilled on the desk, because if not, it might stain your shirt. Now you are going to get your shirt. Be careful so that you make sure that you do not have any dye on your hands. You're going to want it to be damp, not very wet, but not very dry. You do have to be careful because I stained my shirt a little bit in here, as you can see. Little stains you can see right there, so be careful with that. Now we are going to start twisting the shirt. So after you've chosen where you want your spiral to be, do a little pinch like so and put the middle of the fork in the pinch. You're going to want to start twisting with enough force that the whole shirt will be brought to the center, like a small tornado, I guess. And you're going to want to help the shirt so it is the most compressed as possible. After having the shirt on the spiral, grab 3 to 4 rubber bands. If this is your first time, I recommend grabbing 3. So grab them and you're going to split it like a pizza, kind of. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Now I am going to show you how to put the rubber band on. So first you're going to want to not lift up the shirt a lot, but a little bit to get the first rubber band and kind of compress the shirt into the rubber band. And then you're going to turn it 180 degrees and you're going to do the same thing with the next rubber band. If the shirt gets a little bit undone, you just push it in to the rubber band like I did there. You're going to want to flatten it with your hands. That way it's going to be easier to put the dye after because it's going to be in a flatter area. After putting on your third rubber band, kind of sideways, we are going to start dyeing the shirt. So first, I'm going to use red in the middle. So for this, have in mind that you don't want to spray it around like crazy. You want to concentrate it in the center a bit. So what you do not want to do is start spraying it all over like that. You don't want to do that. What you do want to do is start pouring it in the middle, and you want to pour a lot of it so that it looks a lot. So you don't want to do just a point, but you want it to look like the center of the shirt. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you how the shirt looks like so that you can see how it turns out. Now I'm going to grab the blue. You're going to put the blue around the red. Try for it to not touch the red that much because it can look weird, blackish colors when they mix. So you're going to want to do a small spiral like that, but not touching all of the red, sorry. Now after the blue, you're going to want to grab the green. Now the green is almost the last color we're going to use, but we're going to use red at the end again. So you're going to want to spread it around. This one maybe can touch the blue a little bit more because it is one of the last colors, but if you want, you can leave a little bit of white. As you can see, I left a little bit of white at the ends because I wanted to color that with red. So after you add all the green, remember to add enough color because if not, the colors won't show up. You want to add the red with a lot. You want to add a lot of red because that way it'll show up more and it creates this really cool design at the end, which is a spiral, of course, but the colors will obviously be more vibrant and cool. Now you are going to want to turn the shirt around because the dye doesn't go through all the way and you want the most color in both sides. So we're going to do the same thing. You're going to find the spiral and you're going to coat it with red. You're going to put some red in it. Make sure to put enough of the red so that it shows up later, because if not, it won't show up. Now some blue. Repeat the same steps. It doesn't have to be exact. That's the fun of it. Make sure, like, if you try to leave some white spaces, it might come out mostly the center, so try to not leave as many white spaces in the center. Now you're going to grab the green and repeat the same thing, all around the blue. And lastly, remember to coat it well because maybe, for example, the green didn't have that much color. So now you're going to grab some red, lastly, and coat it all with red. Now what you're going to want to do is leave the shirt for rest 24 hours. I recommend 24 hours because that will let the dye sink in as much as possible. If you leave it more than 24 hours, it will probably not affect a lot, but what I recommend is 24 hours at least. You're going to want to put it in a bag. Make sure it does not have any holes in it because if it does, it will affect the process of the dye setting into the shirt. You're going to want to tie a knot in it so that no air gets into the bag because that way the dye can develop better. You're going to want to tie it up like so and leave it for 24 hours somewhere where the light does not hit it. This is really important. Put it somewhere where the light cannot hit it for 24 hours. Okay, so now it's 24 hours later. Here I have my shirt and a bucket with cold water, normal tap water. And you're going to want to get the shirt out of the bag. So as you can see, it had no holes in it. It was okay. And you're going to see kind of how it developed. So right now, I was too lazy to get some scissors, so I just started ripping the bag. You can get scissors if you want. But I don't think the bag will be reusable because it has dye in it. Even if it doesn't seem like it, the dye has chemicals. So here you can see the shirt has rested for 24 hours. You can take off the rubber bands now. Take off all of the rubber bands and spread open the shirt. When you spread open the shirt, you will kind of see your design. This is kind of a preview of my design. This is not how it's gonna look. Like it is, but not exactly. So you're going to want to now wash the shirt. Well, not wash it, but kind of put it in some water. And yeah, wash it without soap. Like so. So you're going to want to wash it that way so you can see the water is turning purple. That means the residual dye. is there. So you're going to want to do it as many times as possible. What I meant by as many times as possible is wash it, and once the water turns very purple, dump out that water and put some new water in. Try to wash it as many times with your hands. This water doesn't have to have salt, until the water is pretty much clear. That means that all the residual dye is not there anymore, and this helps so that it doesn't stain your clothes or you when you're gonna wear it. After washing the shirt with the water various times until the water is clear, you're going to want to make sure the shirt is as damp or as dry as possible, pretty much, because now you're going to want to wash it. This process is really important because this is what is going to pretty much help you not stain your clothes or your skin, because this dye can stain. So now what you're going to want to do, this is a preview of the shirt, is wash it in the washing machine. Yes, this is pretty important. So with no other clothes. Why? Because if not, it could stain those clothes, because the dye is for clothes. So it could stain you or your skin if you don't wash it. So be really careful with this. After washing your shirt and drying it, this is an image of how the shirt ended up. This is the front part after you wash it and planchar it, sorry. This is the back part, and this is me wearing it. It was a little bit big, but yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, goodbye.